I was going to do day 2 of the Cat Diaries facing out. And I was like, what's more interesting? My car or my face? Well, it depends upon who you're asking. I know some people who like cars a whole lot. But anyway, base camp celebration, here we are. We're heading into a new lunar cycle, by the way, the new moon, and jumping off into a new you. So rather than looking at the day or as a day-to-day thing, meaning I can count out 24 hours in a day, and this is when I wake up, and this is when I go to bed, etc. You just look at the entire spectrum of how we measure our lives. But then you bring it into how the body is. And it is, oh, I have to wear a jacket. I get to wear a bikini. I get to go swimming in the ocean. I'll be going to the ocean soon, just not yet. It's been nice and warm here, and we had a drought in North Carolina, which is where I reside. And now we have rain. I just completed a video compilation that I'm very proud of. And when I use that word, it's not to be meant as one of the 7 deadly sins. Not true pride. It's, I would like to share with you because I put some effort into it. And it was enjoyable. I snickered myself on several occasions. So don't you want to check it out? In the journey as a human being that wishes to actually be the best they can be, will I eventually quit this? Not if it's apple juice. I can just keep on faking it. So don't you be judging on people, don't become a dry drunkie either. There are no prerequisites for enlightenment. It doesn't care how you get there, as Thaddeus Golas once said in his book, The Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment. Enlightenment does not care how you get there. Love as much as you can from where you are. And truer words have been spoken, I mean, as true of words, not truer. So the bee that I gave honey to earlier must have gotten hit by the sudden rain that we had. It's still clinging to a leaf. It is right here, right there. I gave it some honey down there on that leaf. I've seen bees revive themselves and then come back with their friends to drink the rest of the honey. So you never know with these guys and gals, to be PC. You know what's really funny is I was reviewing the movie Twisters, and I said, yeah, it's a good movie for feminists or girls that need to feel better about themselves. And that summed it up in a way that was derogatory, but it was not meant to be offensive to feminists who are looking to simply be women. So, as Bill Clinton once famously said in the trials with Monica Lewinsky, It depends upon what the definition of is. It depends upon what the definition of is. So, ridiculous. Our own lives are far more interesting than whatever goes on in the White House or the castle. Oh, the cat wants to come out. Hold on. Sorry to keep you waiting. I know, but you didn't let me know earlier. He was being persnickety. I offered the way out and he refused. He was being a cat, which is what I am, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm easing into, this whole idea of, I'm gonna rearrange my hair, if you will. This idea of equality of the sexes is ridiculous because it's a foreign concept. Let's tell that to the lioness in the Serengeti. Hey man, lioness, it's equality of the sexes. What happens in the Serengeti? Class. The lioness is the huntress, and the male lion protects her. And when she has cubs, he protects her and the cubs. But what do you think what happens if another male lion takes over at that point? He kills all the offspring that aren't his own. That's what goes on in nature. In human nature, we call that murder. We put that poor bastard in jail. And I'm not saying he shouldn't go there, because we're not wild animals, we're human beings. But there's no such thing as equality of the sexes, even amongst human beings. What there is that word again, a woman being all she can be in her femininity, and a man being all he can be in his masculinity. Both of them knowing that, just like the yin and yang symbol, the outer has within it the opposite of which it sees in itself. Its reflection, the yin and the yang. The other self, the masculine, the feminine. And it makes that beautiful symbol, and it also pumps the engine of life. It keeps vitality, it keeps the earth alive. It's part of the right of being human, is this sexual charge that occurs, the rite of spring. And so Lunasa, the harvest and whatnot, we are experiencing this beautiful resurgence of the balance of the masculine and feminine. It's delicious. But it takes a female looking at herself and saying, why am I always trying to be something outside of my nature? And it takes the masculine to stop with their porn addiction. And I have a very unique background and knowledge of the female male dynamic when it comes to the sexualization of women in our culture, which has become a what do you call it? An avenue for income for women. They now call it OnlyFans, but back in the 80s, it was called all nude. So I'm going to leave this nice and short, okay? Because I've had trouble uploading lately. You know my iMovie that I made? It took 14 plus hours to upload. So it's going to be a while before I make an iMovie. Hey, buddy. What do you have to say? Oh, you going to hang out with me? Yeah. We usually go over here, but I wanted to face out. Oh yes, and there's my beautiful car. Yes, everybody knows what kind of car I drive. Am I worried about security? Absolutely not. Because anybody that knows and loves me would be somebody that would be a person who would not hurt me, you know? True love between people, when you really love somebody. My makeup is smearing, it's not a black eye. But true love isn't possession that then leads to the adulteration of a human's body or their things. True love is actually adoring and respecting somebody enough to nurture them so that their environment is most conducive to their well-being and personal growth. But so many so-called love relationships result in possessiveness, which results in usually the man, but it's not always that, overwhelming the female physically. Okay, deal with this. It's smeared eye makeup. It's true eyeshadow smeared. It's kind of sexy then, don't you think? Yeah, so welcome to my channel. This is Cat Chat's Diaries, pet sitting. And there's a whole series of things that I have going on. And don't pass judgment. This is a drinking video. It doesn't mean if a person's drinking that what they're saying that makes absolutely no sense. It simply means they have an impaired system. It's not going to work as quickly as it did before. And I can feel mine slowing down, as a matter of fact. So, with no other ado, I will bid you adieu. Wiedersehen. To you and you, well, what was that from The Sound of Music? Well, somebody's walking their dog. What I've come to in this second day of the Pet Sitting Diaries is that it's important to become self-aware in order to get through what you've got to get through, but also there are times like you have to get out of the brain that says there's the step 1, 2, 3. You have to unplug. And in the Eastern medicine mindset or the Eastern philosophy, meditate, meditate, meditate. In California, they changed that to mindfulness. It helps the Western mind. If you were to train the military, for instance, you would have to say sit at attention. So attention to everything. You have to use the language that somebody understands, just like you have to use the right nutrients for plants, acid, alkaline, in between, what do they need? So ideas are that way. We present ideas to people, and Jesus, Jesus, Yeshua, how do you say that? Did I say it right? Yes, Yeshua? Yeshua. That magnificent teacher, he spoke in parable and story. So I speak a lot in metaphor. So come along with me in my journey, and I am glad you're here. Leave in the comment section anything you wish to share for any readers to ever ruminate about in a good way, like digest, think about, which would be, what are you actually looking at as things that you considered part of your given personalities and always will be? So, and mine, for instance, is, oh, I'm a child of a narcissist. I want to give that up and move on to the next thing. I want to move on. So that's what I'm asking you. All right.